This is the one, I can feel it. Take 370, here we go. Hey guys, welcome to today's installment of EAP TV. Today we are discussing how to create the perfect sales formula. We are also going to have another guest on the show. We are keeping the streak alive. Bryan Casella is joining us, and we could not be more excited to have him. I'm going to have his website and social networks linked right down below. Go check him out. I'm sure a lot of you probably already know who he is, but if you don't, go check him out. He's got a lot of really cool stuff that he's doing. So let's just jump right into it. So what exactly is the perfect sales formula? The perfect sales formula is what would essentially allow you to always be closing. In this business, you're either closing or you're not getting anywhere. There's this really good Alec Baldwin scene that actually I think sums this whole concept up very well.
A, B, C. A always B, B, C closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Absolutely love that movie. What I want to give you guys is a concept that I learned in business school that really stuck with me throughout the rest of my academic career and very much now into my professional career. And that concept you may or may not already be familiar with is the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. And it's definitely very observable in business, in personal relationships, in your health, you name it. This thing applies to a lot of different aspects of life. And I think it's a very important concept to know if you're trying to create the perfect sales formula or perfect sales strategy. So I went ahead and drew up a little diagram to illustrate the Pareto Principle, partially because I'm not sure how to edit and put a graph here on the screen. There you have it. The most important thing to take away from the Pareto Principle is that 20% of the work is responsible for 80% of the closing. That last 20% where you're actually getting the client to sign on the dotted line, that's 80% of the work. The last 20% of the stretch, regardless of what it is always 80% of the work. And this principle applies to so many things. Next week, I'd really love to do a more in-depth video kind of going over what specific marketing tactics and lead generation tactics actually contribute to which percent of the pie, because it's important to know where you're directing your focus. The whole point of the Pareto Principle is to help you narrow your focus in on what are the most important aspects of your business. What's helping you generate the 80% progress? What's helping you generate that last 20% closing? So you know how to properly leverage each one. To put this in perspective for sports fans out there, because I know there are a lot of you guys, I've spoken with a lot of you one-on-one. I played soccer and I had a coach that told me 90% of games are won in the last 15 minutes. Now, I don't know if that statistic is completely true, but I totally understand the idea. Those last 15 minutes of a game is where a huge amount of the outcome is always decided. So you have to make sure that you're pacing yourself, that you've got a system in place to actually reach those last 15 minutes, and that's where you execute the most effectively to actually see the closing.
You can't close shit. You are shit. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it, because you are going out.
Now, without further ado, I'm gonna hand this over to Bryan. He's gonna give you guys some very valuable information. Bryan, take it away.
Welcome everybody. Bryan Casella here, or BC as everybody calls me. Today, I'm going to make a short video on what is the sales formula when it comes to real estate. Whether you're a new agent or an established agent or somebody who's getting back into the business, this is very important. Okay, we're gonna break it down into 3 segments. Number 1, having a system. Number 2, expertise, which I'll break down. And then lastly, there has to be a genuine or authenticity that is incorporated into it. Okay, so what do I mean by system? System, I mean you have a proven model to take somebody from, I need to find a client, whether that's a buyer or a seller, and all the way down to handing a buyer the keys, or handing a seller their check at the end of the transaction. Okay, you must have a system that takes them from point A to point Z. There are a million systems out there. I chose a Mike Ferry system and I still use it to this day. Okay, so you have to find a proven system that works. Number 2, expertise. Everything involved with that system and everything in the transaction, you are an expert at. Okay, what to say, how to say it, knowing every situation in a transaction, being able to answer every single question your client has, right? That's expertise. Knowing the ins and outs of everything that has to do with real estate and your job. Now lastly, genuine authenticity, however you want to say it. When you deal with people, especially when it comes to buying and selling a home, because it's one of the most important decisions they're ever going to make in their life, you have to be genuine. When you ask them about their situation, when you want to help them, they have to feel and know that you actually care. And when you have that, and you're an expert, and you have a proven system, now you're gonna be a rock star. Whether you're a new agent or somebody who's just looking to get or refresh everything and become an expert and sell a lot of homes, that's the formula. I'll see you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Bryan. I really appreciate you taking the time to send a video to us, get on the show today. We really appreciate it. I just want to point out to you guys 2 of the things that he said. Everything he said was very valuable, but authenticity and the sales system, those really stuck out to me, because one of the biggest drawbacks I see when people are trying to establish an effective system they can routinely execute on, which is a good idea, but they become fake. They start to lose that element of genuine interaction or the authenticity that Bryan actually brought up. And staying very humble and genuine in your approach is very important when you're interacting with people. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I really hope you found that enjoyable. Next week, I'm hoping to go more in depth on the Pareto Principle that I brought up for you guys today. What specific tactics, what specific marketing efforts actually go into which category. And then I'd love to hear your feedback on what type of sales system that you guys utilize, what type of tips, tricks you guys have for us. Feel free to leave some comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe. It really helps us out. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Yes.